We often say, practice makes perfect, which is true enough, but it's also true to say that practice tends to make permanent. What you are practicing tends to become habitual. What you are practicing now with your young children, they will, generally speaking, tend to keep doing. And what sometimes happens with young kids is that when a little kid throws a fit, sometimes it's tempting to think, that's cute. Look at her. She's so cute. She's screaming. But you need to think to yourself, but that turns into an ugly divorce. That little 2-year-old, puffy cheek sweetheart, if she never learns to control that temper, will ruin her marriage one day. Or the little boy who doesn't have control of his emotions, who's pitching a fit in the Walmart aisle or wherever, right? And you think, hey, look at him, I'm bigger than him. Come on. And you just, if that doesn't change, what does that grow up into? What are you practicing? Well, that's practicing to commit crimes. That's practicing for sexual immorality. That's practicing for adultery, right? A man who cannot control his emotions, as a young man, is not going to suddenly learn how to control all of his emotions when he turns 13, when he turns 16, when he turns 25. And so we want to think in terms of training and trajectory. Training and trajectory. What are you practicing for? Now, literally, our text says train up a child. The word there that's translated train literally means to narrow a child. Or if you think of Psalm 127's picture of children as arrows, we might say, think of it as like making straight, or sharpen. When you are whittling a stick, when you're sharpening the end of it, you're making it narrower so that it's straight and so that it's sharp. Think of training up your child then like that. The plan is to launch your children like arrows, and you want them to be straight and sharp. And so you're training them up for that. We are to be shaping and sharpening our children, particularly, it says, at the mouth of his path. At the mouth of his path. That's a Hebraism, but you actually can figure it out if you think about it. We speak of the mouth of a river. What's the mouth of a river? Well, it's the beginning or the source of the river. And so this is emphasizing that the early years of childhood are particularly significant. The training you do in those first 5 years are particularly significant. I don't remember the exact stats. Zach, I don't know if you know if Zach's here, but he does a demographic study for us every year. There's Zach. And, we're just so you know, adults, we're way outnumbered, which is glorious. But it's something like, half of our church is like 18 and under, and like 3/4 of that is under the age of 12. Is that close? That's close. Okay. So we're really outnumbered by the young kids. The young kids, they could take us if they knew. But that tells you that, you know what that means? That means that we are in it as a congregation. And what this verse is telling us is that it really matters what we do right now. What we do right now. Another way of thinking about it is the cement is wet right now. The cement is wet right now. And God's grace overcomes our failures. God's grace overcomes many sins. But in terms of how we think about our task and our calling, we need to be thinking, the kids are little. It can be easy to think they're cute and then go light. They're sweet, they're cute, they're little. It's not big of a deal yet. Everybody gets it. And you go light, and then suddenly they start turning 4, 5, 6, and what was cute is not so cute anymore.